Hi everyone, welcome to another Munch Monday episode. My husband and I recently went to get some Philly cheesesteaks and they made them with ground beef and we just could not have it, so I decided to make my own recipe of Philly cheesesteaks. So here we are. First we start with 2 strips of New York strip steak. Here I am just taking off the fat and make sure it's frozen, you guys. You must freeze the meat for at least an hour before making this recipe. After freezing the meat for about an hour or two, you have to thinly slice the meat. After thinly slicing the meat, you will then bring out your sub rolls and prep them for the sandwich. First, I had some garlic in my garlic press and I pressed that into my softened butter that I let out of the fridge for about 30 minutes. After the garlic has been pressed, I mixed the garlic and the butter together. And make sure it's well mixed because you're going to have to use that mixture to then put in your bread. So here I am adding my mixed butter and garlic to my bread so I can be able to toast it in my cast iron skillet. After I'm done with that, I bring this over to my cast iron skillet that has been warming up for about 5 minutes. I couldn't fit both subs in the pan. I thought it was pretty big, but I guess not that big. And I did it one at a time. And I only made 2 sandwiches because it's just me and my husband. I then used the remaining of the mixture of garlic and butter to coat my cast iron pan with some olive oil, which I would then use to prep my veggies for my sandwich. So I love color, so I used both red and green bell peppers. Just stirred and brought it to a nice medium-high heat. Then I added some onions. You have to have onions in your Philly cheesesteak. If you're not gonna have bell peppers, at least have onions. And here I am just cooking them till they're just a little bit more soft. You know I love my pink Himalayan salt. I use that on everything, and black pepper, and I cook it just to a nice comfortable crunch that I like for my veggies. And then after cooking them, I remove them and put them aside and use the same pan to cook my New York strip steak. It's recommended that when you are cooking Philly cheesesteaks, you're supposed to use a ribeye steak. Here I also added a black pepper, a pink Himalayan salt, garlic powder, and onion powder. And I did off camera added a little bouillon powder. You know, everything tastes better with a little bouillon powder. And I just cooked that steak until it was well done. Just keep stirring until there is no pink left. I like my beef to also, or steak, to be also a little browned, a little burnt. I just like the way it looks. It looks much more appealing than when it looks bland. After cooking it till it's well done, I go back and add my veggies, the red bell peppers, the green bell peppers, and the onions with the beef, and just mix it all together so they can cook together again. And after they're combined and cooked together, I separate them to now make way for my provolone cheese, which I would then add to my subs, which I've already toasted and kept to the side. I am adding provolone cheese, which is commonly used in Philly cheesesteaks, but I believe you can switch out the provolone cheese for whatever cheese you prefer. My husband and I decided to add fries as a side to our dinner with the Philly cheesesteaks. So here I am just adding or putting the fries into my air fryer for about 10 minutes while I prep the subs. So here I am now putting some mayonnaise on my toasted subs. That way I can then add my steak with the provolone cheese inside of it. Here I am trying to put that steak into my sub, and it's a little bit tough because the cheese is melted and it's now stuck to my cast iron pan, but just a little fighting and tugging, I finally got it, and it was so cheesy, so great. And added the fries to our cheesesteak sandwiches, and that was our dinner, and it came out pretty good. Here is the finished look. It just looks so nice with the colors and just very delicious and mouth-watering. And here's my husband ready to eat, my forever food taster. And he added some hot sauce. We actually got that hot sauce from Belize, and it's so good. And that hot sauce just made it taste so much better, but it's already a great dish without the hot sauce. I'm sure we can all tell by the way his eyes just kind of rolled back to his head and his nodding and more eating and and shaking his head. But here you go. Let me know how yours comes out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please share, subscribe, and hit the notification button for Mondays when I drop new videos. Thank you, and see you next Monday.